Hi, empaths. This video is about becoming aware of your emotions in real time. So, one thing that I found when I did the exercise in part 2 was to me very interesting. I was standing in a buffet line and I looked at a woman and I felt something. But I thought that it would be polite to talk to this woman because I was standing behind her. So I started a conversation with this woman and we chatted for a few minutes. And it just felt very boring and flat. There was just no particular connection with us. And so after a few minutes, it sort of was boring and we both turned around and faced the other way. And what I realized after that was I went back to the feeling that I had when I looked at that woman, and I realized my immediate feeling was there's nothing here, nothing that I need to connect with or she needs to connect with. And the connection of energy will not be satisfying to me. Like, I knew that as soon as I looked at that person. But I ignored it because it was more important to me at that time to be polite and to do what I was trained to do for other people, for society, rather than listen to myself. And that moment, for some reason, was very powerful to me because I realized I have done that in many, many situations. I knew that something wouldn't work out well for me, but I ignored it and went forward anyway. And after I realized that, I really put a lot of effort into thinking about situations, like small, tiny ones like that. Like, what am I going to say to someone, or am I going to spend these 2 minutes doing this or not? And I started making choices which I had not done before in my life, in that kind of way. Meaning, I made choices based on how I felt emotionally, internally about these decisions, rather than what my mind told me would be right or polite to do. And so for me, that was a huge change. And so once you get used to checking in with yourself in the situation, like, do I want to be in this conversation or not? If you follow that back, you can often find that you have that emotion and that direction and guidance from source before events actually happen. And so if you can follow that back and start doing that, you won't have to exit events after you get in them and find them unsatisfying. You will just listen to yourself, and that act of listening beforehand will take you to events that you find satisfying more and more and more. And so that really is the goal, is becoming so connected with your source that you're ending up in events that you like almost all of the time. And that's a much more fun way to live. If you have more questions that you would like answered on YouTube videos, you can go to consciouscreativelife.com and type in a question, and I may be able to answer it in a YouTube video. I'm also doing workshops for empaths about law of attraction, how to work with law of attraction. That will be October 9th, 2024. And a workshop on law of attraction and the source within. That will be October 15th, 2004. Thank you all for being here.